Hello, welcome back to Betting Expert, another edition of our Average Joe's Betting Expert series where I'm trying to show you what it takes to become a leading tipster on bettingexpert.com. Now, things recently haven't quite been going to plan. Let's just take a quick look. I'll show you how my profile is doing. I was up over 100 units at one point, but yesterday I was posting some predictions. I tried a theory where I basically just backed some favorites, posted 15 tips on my profile, and as you can see, we had a few more losers than winners. Unfortunately, I think the biggest letdown was Man United losing. Well, didn't lose, but they drew with Southampton. It should have been an easy win at home. But anyway, lesson learned there. Maybe I need to do a little bit more research and not just look at the odds and just back the favourites. So we're going to bounce back. I've got 9 more predictions for today, and hopefully I've done a little bit more research into these, and hopefully we'll find some more winners. So starting off with the Premier League game between Chelsea and Norwich. Now, there's quite a curious statistic here. So since Chelsea released their new kit with a giant 3 on the front, they've either scored or conceded 3 in 4 games. Now, obviously, not suggesting that coincidence imply what will happen next in a game or in future game. It is just a coincidence with that, but it's a bit of a funny one. But here I do predict that Chelsea will win pretty comfortably. Obviously Norwich are already relegated as well, so they don't have a lot to play for. They may well give some youngsters a run out even. Yeah, so a funny thing as well, looking at the odds, I don't think I've ever seen 603 to 25 before. That's a new one for me. It's around about 24 to 1. Anyway, as I say, back to my prediction. So I do think Chelsea will win this one comfortably. I'm going to look at the over 3.5 goals market for this one. I'm just going to scroll down and post my prediction. So we're getting even money on this as well, and I feel like that is a pretty solid bet. And I'm going to go for a stake 10 on all of the tips today because I am pretty confident in them. But moving on, we have a game in Italy in Serie A between Atalanta and Brescia. Now again, I think the story for this game will be about goals. Atalanta scored the most in the division and Brescia have conceded the second most as well. Home advantage, Atalanta are in decent form. It took Juve to stop their winning run. I don't think Brescia is going to put up much of a fight here. Atalanta should win this one comfortably, and I do expect them to score a lot of goals as well. So we're going to go for over 3.5 in this one too. So hopefully we get a bit of a goal fest. As I say in my analysis there, they've scored 87 goals this season. So let's hope for a few more today. And moving on, I have also some predictions in the Championship over in England. So starting off with a top of the table clash, really, second or first against third, with West Brom taking on Fulham. Now here, this one, Fulham are in really decent form. West Brom are in good form as well, of course, to be up there in the top of the Championship. But looking at Fulham's track record, they have been grinding out wins. 3 of those wins of the 4 have been reduced under 2.5 goals, and 3 of them were to 0 as well. So it was 1-0, 2-0 win. So here I do fancy under 2.5 goals as the best prediction for the game, purely because I do feel like, yeah, well, even though West Brom have scored 2 or more goals in 3 of their last 4, this one should be pretty tight. Fulham look solid defensively, so I would expect an under 2.5 goals kind of game. It should be a pretty close one. So that tip is now posted. And moving on to Reading against Middlesbrough. Now here I do fancy, again, a similar story. Neither team are really showing particularly good form of late. Reading have actually kept 3 clean sheets on the bounce, while Middlesbrough have only scored 4 goals in their last 4 games. So not exactly lighting the Championship on fire or anything like that. So again, I predict a low scoring one in this one, and we're going to go for under 2.5 goals again. So yeah, looking at those Reading clean sheets, it just suggests to me they're going to be really solid at the back. They're not scoring a whole lot of goals, but yeah, I fancy that one to be a low scoring game. And also a similar one with Sheffield Wednesday against Huddersfield. Now obviously Huddersfield are down there at the bottom of the table. They need to get a result. They need to go out and get a win. But I feel like for this one, the last head-to-head meetings between these two have all produced kind of low scoring games. So it could be pretty tight up there in Yorkshire. And I do fancy again under 2.5 goals in this one. We're getting more odds on here, so yeah, the bookies are favouring the low-scoring games as well. Like I say, the last 6 head-to-head meetings have produced under, so we're going to go for a similar story here. Kind of a 1-0 game either side, or either way, looks like it's likely. And we move on to the game between Millwall and Blackburn, and once again, looking at the track records between these two head-to-head wise, again, it points towards under 2.5 goals. So again, maybe I'm kind of going for some boring bets in that I want lots of dull action, not many goals from these last few predictions. But yeah, like with these two, they haven't really got a whole lot to play for. They don't have a lot of impetus to go out and score a lot of goals. They're both seemingly going to settle for mid-table mediocrity, as I wrote in my analysis. So again, the last 4 have gone under 2.5 goals, so I expect the same today. So let's get that posted. And the next game we're going to look at is Cardiff against Derby. Now, Cardiff, 55% of their league games this season have actually seen both teams to score. But I don't think that's going to happen this time, seeing as Derby have one of the worst away track records in the division. Cardiff have also actually been a little bit more solid defensively of late as well. So here again, we're going to look at total goals and going to go for under. So yeah, the common thread with these championship tips so far is to expect low scoring games. And that's exactly what we're going to be posting. So yeah, under 2.5 for me in this one. Now, of course, if you don't agree with any of the predictions that I'm posting here on my own profile or on the YouTube channel on Betting Expert, then feel free to get in touch and let me know your thoughts. Got a couple more games to talk about. So next we're going to go for Luton and Queen's Park Rangers. Again, it seems like this one should be a pretty close game. Luton do have more to play for. QPR kind of safe relatively. But again, looking at the track record, how these past meetings, again, we're going to look at under 2.5. Now, this one is going against the bookies' odds. Of course, we're going for it's a bit of an outside shot with this one, but it does seem like a lack of goals is the trend, as I wrote in my analysis. They've only scored 5 goals between them in their last 10 outings in the Championship, so neither side showing particular good goal-scoring form, which for me then is an opportunity to back under 2.5 goals, and let's get that done. Now, one more game, one more prediction is not under 2.5 goals this time. We're actually looking at the game between Wigan and Hull, where recent games involving these two have actually been pretty boring, low-scoring games. But it seems to be when these two meet, goals are coming. So I think it is the last 6 meetings between these two have produced over 2.5 goals. So this time we are going to end up the series or the video with a more ambitious bet or more hopeful of entertainment. And we're going to go for over 2.5 goals in this one. So yeah, it was actually the last 5 head-to-head meetings over 2.5. So we want that to happen today. So this last game, we want goals galore. But like I say, what do you make of our predictions or my predictions? Let me know in the comments below. And if you do place a bet on any of these tips, please do gamble responsibly.